Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out a new track from Left to Suffer. It is called Overwhelming Power. I have talked a lot about Left to Suffer on the channel at this point. They're a band I found last year via the live stream requests, and at this point they are heavily listened to on the rotation for me. I love Left to Suffer. Very excited to check out a new track from them. Expecting heavy for sure. I am going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
Contact about 5 miles in front of him. Miles, angle 6.
Roger, that's the only one I've got right here where the pointer is.
I felt it 6 weeks that the coffin was closed. Another never-ending story here, I suppose. Taking off my mask of the one I despise. So now I suffocate while I'm counting down my final day, wishing on every sign that you would leave me be. Now let's see your curse running. Tuck yourself between your legs when you run away and burn your head in shame. Let's go to other end, while you try to find a reason to breathe. Let the silence find my consciousness from telling to speak. And now I can't turn down the days I can remember. I cannot take the memory.
Yep.
What's taking off my mask for the one I despise?
Waiting for the day that I can recover. Watching the world as they kill one another. Lamenting my pain, not a psychoanalysis.
Stay still, exist. You'll be begging to take your own.
Left to Suffer, Overwhelming Power. Let's discuss. So this is my favorite of the singles that they've released after On Death dropped, for sure. They haven't put out anything that I've disliked at all, but this has that feel like it's the same level that On Death was for me. It will go on repeat for sure. And while I've revisited the two more recent singles, I think this will be something like when I first heard Depression, when I first heard Anger, with all the entire EP just on repeat, and it's still something that I'm constantly putting back on the playlist. I haven't got tired of it at all, and I think the qualities in the EP that make it so like replayable for me, I see in this song more so, if that makes sense. So the production on this one, I had mentioned in one of the other ones, it just wasn't quite like hitting as hard for me as the EP was, and in this one it definitely feels like it is. It's just a massive track. It's got a killer performance from everyone, I feel like, on here. With Taylor, his vocals are just on point. You got like those high highs in there as well, and I've talked a lot about his vocals on the channel, I feel like, at this point, because I've talked about with deathcore how I didn't quite listen to it as much before I started the channel, and then with bands like Fit for an Autopsy and stuff, I got more into it. But with Left to Suffer, they were one of the first deathcore bands that I think really like went on repeat as consistently as they have been, and I think it's got a lot to do with the instrumentals, but it also has a lot to do with Taylor's vocals, and I'm not even sure exactly what it is. It's like the aggression, the emotion, like those spoken word parts in here as well, like the way that some of that stuff hits, like just after one listen, thinking back, and you can hear like the overwhelming power, like where the song title is dropped in the song, like the delivery there, just on point, and it's a really talented vocal performance. And he's got a like a side project as well that he does singing on, and so his voice is just got a lot of potential, like for different directions that the song can go, and on those drops, just absolutely powerful. But being able to maintain like that same energy throughout the tracks as well, and be able to do that spoken word type of stuff with it working so like cohesively throughout the tracks, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, vocals very much on point. The riffs in this track, absolutely, especially in the second half of the song, I think throughout the entire thing, but just overall. And then also something, I think another thing in this track, why it appeals to me so much, is the lead, like where I pointed out that lead. That's something else, like in the track Anger, that has like one of my favorite leads maybe ever in that song. And this one kind of has that characteristic that there are a few tracks on Death that I felt like they had leads that just sort of have like this peculiar sound to them, and I'm not sure what it is about them that makes it so that it sticks out so much, because sometimes you'll have a lead in a track like that that's super heavy, that just kind of like, it just sort of blends in there, and that with these one, it doesn't feel like the case with these that I'm specifically talking about. Not at all, especially Anger. I can always hear that like very clearly in my head, though I have listened to that like a stupid amount of times. You see what I'm saying though. But anyway, so not only that, the riffs in general, there were a few parts in there where I think it was like before that last drop where the guitar, I think I said something about like that guitar, maybe, as long as that wasn't like a mental note, but I'm pretty sure it was like the part leading up to that last drop in the song, and it was just a total different style in that sound compared to the rest of the track. So yeah, just some variety there. Bass drops throughout the track. There's nothing else that I would have wanted for this. This is the direction that I'd really like to see from them, because this will be going on repeat. Absolutely no complaints for me on this one. I will be putting it on the playlist. I will link the music video in the description. Thank you to Left to Suffer for getting this track over to me. I had the video ready to go. It's nice when I have the time to make sure they're ready for, especially bands like Left to Suffer that I enjoy so much and am super hyped for the releases for. So yes, there's social media, all of that in the description of this video. Other than that, you can also find my link tree, which will have the invite for the Discord server that I talk about on every single video, every live stream, because it's full of a bunch of my favorite people. We have a lot of music related conversation, a lot of conversation completely unrelated to music as well. So if any of that interests you, that will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link. On Instagram, I do keep it all music related, sometimes on my story about new videos. I will post a chart every Friday of what I've listened to the most over the course of the week, albums, EPs, singles, whatever the case is for that week, as well as I post merch, vinyl, sweatshirts, flags, whatever I have ready to go. I have a never-ending collection of merch to post. Sometimes about shows, if I've been to a show recently and have pictures or videos to share, things like that. So if that interests you at all, my handle on there is the same as my handle on YouTube. It is Rachel Reacts, but again, that will be in the link tree in the description if you have any interest in following me. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.